Hey, this is Mico, and this video will be about the six human needs. Six human needs, basic human needs, is a theory. It's kind of like a more popular psychology that is fairly easy to understand. And once you listen or read about this theory, it's kind of like self-evident. Like you don't need a lot of science to prove it. Don't need psychoanalysis or read books by Jung to understand it. It's pretty clear and it's extremely helpful for us to understand ourselves and also, especially in this job in sales and influences, to understand other people so we can see their needs, see what drives everybody, and we can use this to just improve our communication, influence them more effectively. So it also will affect on the personal level. These needs affects your, just your internal psychology. They affect how you create and maintain habits, and beyond that, how what issues you might have in your relationships. And sometimes, we have some issues and we cannot understand why things happening the way they are, and also in habits, and habits lead to our health, so it actually will affect your physical health. um, Specifically for us in sales and influence, we need this because psychology is at the core of what we do. When we try to influence people, we want to influence people, we want to understand. Again, it's two sides. It's understand, I need to understand what drives you as a customer, but also extremely helpful for me to understand what drives me myself as a person, what drives my ego, everything that I do. Like, why do I have goals that I have? It comes from somewhere because people have different goals. This theory is there's an older theory, hierarchy of needs, Maslow basic needs stairs or whatever. That theory is, not that it's not true, but it's very simplistic. Like, first you want to get fed, then you want to not be tired, then, so on, so really simplistic. This is um, it doesn't start when you're hungry. It starts, psychological needs is once your physiological needs more or less are fulfilled. You're not hungry, you're not fully sleep deprived, you're not, shivering and of cold and or sweating from heat. Okay, you're normal, neutral states. And we get these needs. They are a result. It's a combination of nurture versus nature versus nurture. Some of it comes, just as part of us. Some of this is a result of the beliefs that we acquire in our childhood, things that we experience, things that we hear, and it all builds into this big picture of the world that we have. And that picture of the world affect how we what drives us, basically. So you can look these needs up. Just Google six human needs. And by the way, this theory was popularized by Tony Robbins. Again, I'm a big fan. And if you want to hear more about that, hear maybe a different version, look up Tony Robbins. I'm sure on YouTube you can find Tony Robbins' Six Human Needs. It's on his website. It's in all of his programs. He talks about this all the time. So, six human needs. First need is certainty. Certainty, basically assurance that you can avoid pain and gain pleasure. Okay, it's as simple as that. It's not just that you are fed now, it's the certainty that you have food for tomorrow. It's the certainty that you have money in the bank, that your car will start in the morning, that people that you know will not lie to you. This is certainty. Second one is a little contradictory, kind of like a yin and yang. Second one is uncertainty or variety. And it comes from the fact that we just get bored. As humans, we get bored fairly easily. If you're certain that everything's going to be the same, you know what's exactly going to happen tomorrow, you're going to be bored out of your life and out of your mind. And it's going to create, for a lot of people, it creates serious psychological problems and mental issues where there's just nothing new. And then variety and certainty is the need for the unknown, change, or new stimuli. Third need is significance, feeling unique, important, special, or needed. So any kind of title, any kind of achievement, any kind of thing that, for us in sales is the bonus, okay? It's not that you just needed the money. You also need to feel that you can reach that bonus, you can reach that goal. Sports, be, first place, that's significance. People kill themselves to get to that thing. Fourth need is connection or love. It's a strong feeling of closeness or union with someone or something. And love is the ideal. Okay, I'm not going to get into that. Not going to get into too much new age stuff, but love is really what we need. But a lot of times we will settle for connection, and it's important part is that when we cannot really feel loved and be love somebody else, we will settle for just connecting, just talking to somebody, just expressing ourselves and having this human interaction. Any kind of relationship is a connection. Fifth need is growth, an expansion of capacity, capability, or understanding. When we want to learn something new, when we want to get better, part of it is significance, but the other part is more internal, is that a lot of us have this need to be better today than we were yesterday. You might be watching this video because you have need for growth, because you feel like you want to learn something new every day. Maybe you set it as a goal, but you set it as a goal because it's one of your needs. And the last one is contribution, a sense of service and focus on helping, giving to, and supporting others. Pretty self-explanatory things like, just helping others, helping somebody else. And I use this in my videos a lot, is that you can kind of force yourself to, if you force yourself to have the goal of helping others, things change for you. So basically, these are the 6 needs. Pretty much all your desires, all your habits can be, you can explain them with those things. Now, we all have all 6 needs, but usually 1 or 2 are dominant. Those are the needs that drive you the most. How can you find out what they are? Well, sometimes you just know. Sometimes if you read through the list or hear the list, and you will think while you're listening that, okay, yes, I definitely have need for significance. So I definitely have this need for connection. I cannot be lonely, things like that. But if this is not good enough, when you're not driving, when you have time, look up 6 human needs quiz or test. And it's, there are a bunch of them, but they're all free online. You might need to subscribe to something, but you will get the result, and it'll tell you which one of your needs are more dominant. And again, it doesn't mean that these are your only 1 or 2 needs. It just means that those are more important to you. And it's very important to know why. I mean, not why, but what needs are dominant for you. And we need this so we can understand how our needs affect our performance and our life in general. Again, I mentioned it's not just in sales, it's in your relationships at work, it's in your relationships at home. What kind of needs your relationship is fulfilling for you, and what kind of needs your partner might have. Now, fulfillment of those needs can be positive or negative. So there's no, we don't want to assign value to this. We don't want to say that, maybe we do say this sometimes, that, for example, you would say that those needs go from internal or more egoistic, selfish, to external, because it goes from certainty, significance, and just entertainment to growth and contribution. So obviously contribution is more internal. But it does not mean that your need for certainty is all negative. We can use our needs, even if they're selfish, to grow in a more positive sense and use that for love and connection. So you can use your certainty to help others. For example, if that's what you need, you want to feel certain that you will have money to donate to others. They're all connected. And again, some people will take one need and they can fulfill it in very negative way or very, very positive way. So let's take, for example, something more on the middle scale, in the middle, significance. So you could fulfill your need for significance by being a bully, by being a bad boss and just like getting powerful and dominating others. Or you can use this need in the sense that you want to be significant and like you want to achieve something more for yourself, so you have higher status, but that you're going to use that status to help others. So again, there's no positive and negative, just understanding and awareness is what's important. Very important point again from Tony Robbins. Any activity that fulfills two or more of your needs becomes addictive. Okay, this is, and just think about it, it's going to become really clear, and you're probably going to agree with me 100%. So, what is addictive? So, we're talking about addictive as like substances, for example. Let's take something really simple, alcohol. Okay, so what needs alcohol fulfills? Well, there's certainty. I know that if I feel bad, if I drink alcohol, my state will change right away. I'm not going to feel as bad. So I have the certainty that I know what this is going to do for me. I know the taste. I've done this before. There's uncertainty and variety because when I change my state, that's variety. I was like this and suddenly I drank and I want to dance. That's a huge change. That's variety. Significance, well, alcohol might boost your ego and suddenly you don't feel as bad about yourself and you kind of, again, you dance and you're feeling better and you feel more significance. Connection, it like breaks your inhibitions and you can connect, you would think better, but just differently with other people. You know, drunk people, they connect. That's what drunk people do. They party, they go to bars and just talk to strangers. That's connection. There's no love there, but there's connection. So at some level, your need is fulfilled a little bit. There's really no growth or contribution there. But like I said, activity does not need to fulfill all your needs. If it fulfills at least two, you're good. That's it. You get addicted to it. Let's take something else. For example, something more deeper psychological, like in a relationship, when people sabotage their relationship, when people cheat. You know, you have a relationship, everything's great, not you, but let's say we talk about somebody else that you know has a great partner, everything is fine, everything is perfect, just the perfect everything. What do? They go and cheat. Why do they do that? Well, there's uncertainty and variety. Okay, you're definitely like your heart pumps and it's scary. There's risk involved. You might lose everything. So that's really exciting. There's significance because, okay, that person already loves you. Okay. If you get somebody else to love you, that boosts your ego, that boosts your significance. There's the connection of love. You know, maybe it's not real connection of love, but there is something like that. So, you know, three needs, there you go, it's fulfilled. So these are just, again, any activity that fulfills two or more needs will be addictive, and this is how we form our habits. And if you want to break some habits, something that you keeps happening to you, you keep doing even though you know you should not be doing this. Once you understand this, you can think about how you can replace those habits with something more positive. All right, move on. Again, this awareness will help you either change your needs because those needs are not written in stone. Okay, you can work on yourself, and again, you're still going to have all six, but you can work on yourself to move to something more positive. And again, I'm not going to assign 100% positive or negative value to either one of them, but think about, is it even possible to be fully fulfilled when you follow and chase some of those needs versus others? So, for example, certainty. Well, how certain can you be? Is there an amount of money that you can have in the bank that you're finally certain that you're fine? Well, if you look at billionaires, people, or people just extremely cheap people that just hoard money, hoarders, that's another example. People just hoard stuff because they want the certainty, and there's no end to fulfill that certainty. Same with variety. Okay, you seek new experience. Okay, so you got a little adrenaline boost, and it's good. But then next time you want to do something crazier and crazier. You tried alcohol. Alcohol is not enough, or it was enough. Now you want something else. You move to harder things. It happens to people. Not everybody, but it does happen. But if you move down on the list of the needs, if you get to things like growth, well, okay, so there's no limit to your growth, but that's a positive thing. How can it be negative that every day you can learn something new? Every day you can become better than you were yesterday. That's a positive thing in every aspect. And contribution is the same. So contribution, you fulfilling this need by contributing. You're not, there's no end to this. You're just happy when you're in this, when you're in the process. And when you go back, if you go back to my videos about goals, that's how you want to build your goals. You don't want your goal to have an end date and end amount. You want it to be a process, and that's how you stay happy basically. Maybe not 100% happy, but definitely happier. And just like another small point, for example, with contribution, some things we think it's 100% positive, but then it kind of goes a little the other way, and it's hard to say if it's good or bad. So, charity, okay, charity is obviously contribution, it's connection to other people, it's a great thing, but there's this trap when you go into fulfilling that need to satisfy your ego, and then you're doing charity not to contribute, but to get more significance. Well, think about hospitals that have names on them. In San Francisco, there used to be General Hospital. Now it's Mark Zuckerberg Hospital. So think about that. All right. So again, you can either change those needs, your primary needs, a little bit, or you can adapt your behavior and habits to satisfy those needs. And I'll take myself, for example. On the negative side, my more dominant need is need for significance. So it might need drive me to get more promotions or something else, but I use this need to um, get more views on my videos. But my videos are about contributing. I'm not charging anybody for those videos. I want those videos to help you so you can help others. Okay, so I'm trying to make everything better. So I'm using my need for significance for something else. Okay, so they're all connected. So that's basically how those things can help you. Now, when you turn and use this template of those needs and look at your customer, and when you see what needs your customer has, this will again can raise your game to the next level in terms of influence. So we're talking about selling cars. That's what we do. We're selling something else, but let's say selling cars. So you talk to a customer and they will say all the time, yeah, safety is really important to me. Reliability is really important. I want the car that's most reliable, the safest on the road. It has to be number one in safety. It cannot be even number two. Okay, it's you can tell this person certainty is number one thing. Okay, that's 100%. On the other end, there's another one. Somebody else will come and talks about he wants the fastest car, the car with the most horsepower, how it turns. They want to race it. That's obviously 100%. That person needs variety. They want to adrenaline when they drive this car. And then the third person will come in and he's going to want the same car. He's going to want the fast car, but he's not going to even talk about how fast it is. You'll talk about this, let's say Corvette, right? He's not going to talk about horsepower. He'll talk about the wheels and the shiny, and he wants tinted windows and people that want personalized plates. Oh my God, that's significance all over this. Okay, if you want personalized plates on your car, it's just like might as well write significance up here. Sometimes a lot of times people will get that significance need fulfilled by going a little bit in a different direction. And those are the people we have the most trouble with. Those are the people that will get significance not from the car. They don't care really what model it is, but what's important to them is they got the best deals. So they can brag about it and connect to other people, connection, right? And get validation of how great they are because they got this deal. Their lease is the cheapest. And that's why when you start reading on forums, a lot of times you see, oh yeah, I got my car. You're like, if you pay an MSRP, you're an idiot. I paid 10,000 below MSRP and they all beg me to take the car. This is significance. This is people bragging. A lot of times they'll be lying. Doesn't matter at this point, but this is significance. So you can look at those people, and when you see what their needs are, you're not going to change their needs, but you can tailor your presentation to those needs. If it's somebody that you see that variety is important, you definitely want to let them open up the car, try the sport mode and turn and this and that and hit the brakes and just get a little bit of adrenaline, like roller coaster. But if it could be the same car, but the person is all about the color and the rims, one thing that it'll just sell it right away. If you drive out, so you together with a customer drive from the dealership, make sure that you pull over in front of a store with big, if possible, tinted windows so there's a reflection. And if you just point to that person, the reflection of him in the car or near the car, you can see himself with the car. This is it. This is going to sell the car. Okay. And again, kind of tied to that, but think about what needs your car satisfies. Okay, we all sell different brands, and maybe you sell a used car. So think about that used car might be not be what you normally sell. So I work at a BMW dealership. So obviously, not a lot of people want certainty when they buy BMW. Okay, there's very little certainty in that, except certainty that everybody respects you. But you want to get respect because you have need for significance, or you have need for variety. It's usually one of those two. You either want it fast, or you want people to appreciate how high you are by seeing what kind of car you have. Oh, you're a dentist, well, you must have this car. But at the same point, I might sell a Honda, used Honda that somebody traded. So if somebody is looking for a 5-year-old Honda, and that to me just already tells me they don't care about the variety, they don't care about significance. Well, maybe only at the point that to show people how prudent and smart they are. That's significance, but usually it's certainty. Okay, so certainty, significance, and let's see what else. Oh, one more thing. It's kind of tough dealing with people who want variety because they all kind of jump you all over the place, but they could be your best customer because any car, doesn't matter which car you sell, fulfills the variety. They get any new car. Okay, they have the old car, they used to, the bored, new car. It could be pretty much the same car, but it's different color. Sometimes people go like, sometimes you would hear or read or see people that trade 2020 Honda for 2017 BMW. And you think like, what the hell they're doing? It makes no sense. They lost money. They just, this transaction made absolutely no sense. But if you think about 6 human needs, that transaction fulfills their need for variety. They got a new car. They had something totally different. They're not bored anymore. They'll get bored again, but we need to pay a bill, so we're going to help those people too. So 6 human needs, read about them, think about them, apply them to your life and to your work, and you're going to be more successful. Thanks for watching.